What coronavirus? Hi, welcome once again. We made it. Week 52 here on Growing with Jerry. Now today I'd like to have a candid conversation with you, something very non-scripted regarding this whole coronavirus. I've seen, how are you reacting to this? I've seen two types of reaction. I've seen one type of person that says, corona, whatever, baloney, dismissive completely of it, and being, to a certain degree, very irresponsible, very nonchalant, very I don't care, very in your face, very not wanting to respect social distancing, distance requirements, personal hygiene, all that kind of stuff. So very, very relaxed about it. Is that the right choice? Maybe not. On the other extreme, I've seen people go into an extreme panic. I've seen ladies tug at each other's hair to buy that last package of toilet paper and that last case of water at the local, big box store, Costco or whatever. Both extremes are off. So the first thing I would like to say, what's my opinion on this coronavirus thing? The first thing I would say is this too shall pass. How it's going to pass, what the numbers are going to be and all this kind of stuff, I'm not sure about that. I don't have all those answers. But what I do know, and what I do have faith in, is this too will pass. This too will pass. But the bigger question is, how are you reacting to it? Are you being that extremist that wants to be in your face, that's almost picking a fight against this coronavirus and looking for trouble and looking to get into harm's way? Or are you the other extremist, the one that's panicking, the one that is wanting to stack the shelves and the sky is falling, the world is coming to an end? Both may be wrong. Here's what I suggest. Start with calming down. Do not buy into the panic. Then the second thing is, rise to be the leader that you were called to be. And where does this start? This starts in your home. I was recently notified that the second half of March 2020, the kids are not going to be in school here in my local market. If that's happening with you, the universities are going online, places of worship, churches are using their services online, big, large groups of meetings are being canceled. How are you using that? Are you buying into the panic? Or is there an alternative? Can you spend the next 2 weeks in quality family dialogue at home? Maybe now is not the right time for unnecessary travel. Maybe now is not the right time to pack yourself into a yacht or a cruise and sail off into the oceans. Maybe now is not the right time to leave the country because of the uncertainty of this turmoil. But maybe today is the time to have a great family discussion, to use these 2 weeks of time off or time down or time that is not in such a hustle and bustle to actually communicate with your family, to communicate with your kids. Surprisingly, people are in the same room and they're texting each other. Why don't we commit in the next 2 weeks, instead of hanging on to every new dramatic viral video or notification that you see on Facebook, on the media, on social media and otherwise, why don't we commit to putting our phones down and actually having a conversation at home with our family? Why don't we commit to a movie night inside of these 2 weeks? To a staycation inside of these 2 weeks? To a game board night inside of these 2 weeks? And guess what? If your kids are not going to school and they have academics to take care of at home, now's the time to say, hey, can I take a look at your schoolwork? What are you studying? What's challenging for you? What's easy for you? How's that grade looking? Can you share with me what you are discussing in school today? Why don't we make this negative hype and turn it around and use it to be able to have quality time with the people we certainly love? And inside that circle, It is up to you as a leader to set the standard for how these next 2 weeks and beyond are going to play. It is there that the calm must start. It is there that the panic must be avoided. If your children see you panicking and in a frenzy, wanting to fill up the gas tank and be able to stock up because the world is coming to an end, whoa, 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 whoa. Relax. Your kids are watching and they're learning from you. Now's the time to have a dialogue about social distancing and telling kids that it's okay right now to not give a big hug to the uncle and the cousin and everybody else that walks through. Now is a good time to talk about the fist bump or the salute, etc., and social distancing. Now is the time to talk about personal hygiene and washing our hands and making sure that we're not coughing on people and doing common sense things that we should probably be doing all year round, not only right now during this coronavirus. So here on Growing with Jerry, this is week 52. And my question last week was, what are we going to do after week 52? Well, one thing I'm not going to do is stop these videos in the midst of all this. I will at least do 2 more videos, which is next week and into April. And then we'll find out what format or what happens or what is best. But ladies and gentlemen, and those that are followers here on week 52 of Growing with Jerry, I want you to take a look at this coronavirus and know 2 things. Number 1, this too shall pass. Certainly there will be a lot of people that will be infected and affected by it. But a very small group of people is probably expected to actually get very sick. And I feel terrible for those people. And the reality is, an even smaller group of people may not make it through this crisis because of their low immune system, because of many other things that are going on in their own body. That's the reality, guys. But the flip side of that is this is where you rise as a leader, where you rise as the head of your own family, where you rise and say, I will not participate in the panic. I will make good moves for myself and for my family to keep them safe. Be smart and turn this around and make it a positive for you. Thank you once again for being here on week 52, a year later, on Growing with Jerry. And guess what? I will see you next week, because right now we must stand strong and we must be firm about our commitment, about being intentional, and about growing. Thank you.